Welcome to Strawberries and Cream. The first week is where dreams begin. Second week is where champions emerge. The draw has narrowed, the pressure has intensified, and we're now looking at beyond the scoreline. Who's peaking at the right time, who's carrying injuries, and whose game is built for grass. And joining me as always is former India Davis Cup player Nitin Keertane, tennis expert and Wimbledon enthusiast Vijay Chhabria, and our wildcard entry with opinions on everything, Rohan. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Priya.
Thank you, Priya. And this time, I'm not going to come up with a very contrarian view, but maybe a very simple opinion that I have here. Why is Wimbledon such a cool tournament? Cooler than any of the other Grand Slams.
We will get to that after we talk about the people actually playing, Rohan. So we will get to that. Yeah. Okay, so we've had marathon matches, we've had surprise exits, we've had youngsters announcing themselves, and the established stars reminding everyone why they are still here. Nitin, what stood out for you the most?
Yes, good point, Priya. It's the adaptability of the players. Players have adapted to this, the grass court. The better they are in the later rounds. You see a Sinner, a Djokovic yesterday pulling off a thriller against Olisim. Yes, it's the forehand, it's the backhand, it's the adaptability, it's the first serve, finishing the point, going up to the net, using those drop shots. So adaptability is my key point here, in the players' success so far, be it in the women's also. We have a Noskova. Gauff adjusted very well against Pegula yesterday. So, I'll go with adaptability.
Right. Vijay?
What I also love is that Wimbledon never follows the script. This is the 9th consecutive year in which we'll see a different women's champion be crowned, which is, just speaks for the kind of, competition there is over the years. Every year, someone unexpected makes a deep run. On the women's side, we've seen Coco Gauff this year. We've seen the British wildcard entrant Arthur Fery make it to the quarterfinals. He's the first British wildcard player to do that in open era history, and that's what makes Wimbledon so special.
Rohan?
Well, I think, like I said, we're keeping it simple here. Wimbledon is special, like both Nitin and Vijay have covered for us. I think the grass is very cool. I think that's what makes it really special.
Right. So let's begin with the tournament favorite. The question isn't whether they're playing well, it's whether anyone can stop them. Nitin, what's making their tennis look so complete?
You're right. I mean, I picked Sinner as my favorite in our first episode. Yesterday, we saw Sinner roll through against Struff, and we had Djokovic pull off a thriller against Felix. So, I mean, the players, they've got used to the surface, they've got used to the conditions. They're adapting very well. They've, come up with the big points well. So, I think, that's why they are the favorites. So, looking forward to an exciting week ahead in the second week.
Right. Vijay?
Absolutely. As Nitin said, champions always find another level in the second week. It's never just about the power. It's all about the emotional control. We saw that with Sinner after his, close first round match. He's won the next 4 matches in straight sets. Very calm and composed throughout the game. You don't panic after losing a set like we saw Djokovic yesterday. You trust your process, and that 5-hour, 15-minute match yesterday was just wonderful to watch.
For the women's section, they've hardly lost it. I mean, I don't think the seeds that we spoke about, they're going through. But on the men's side, I think we seem to be on track.
Right. So Vijay, every Wimbledon has a breakout story. So who's impressed you the most?
So I love the players who aren't intimidated by reputation, and some of these younger players have walked on to center court against the legends and, played some fearless, good tennis. Some of the new names we've seen this year, Flavio Caboli, who made it to the French Open finals this year. We've seen, the Czech player Linda do very well. So, we've seen Coco Gauff, we've seen Arthur Fery. So these are some of the new names that have come up, and they're doing really well.
Nitin, what about you? Who's impressed you the most?
Yes, I agree with Vijay. There have been breakout stories, but I like the story of Arthur Fery, the Wimbledon wildcard, 4th round against a very, very experienced Dimitrov. He won that in 5 sets. He reaches his first quarterfinals. In the live rankings, he goes up to 63. So that's my breakout story. And I'm very happy for the the British players, the British crowd. The British crowd supports their players, and it's heartening to see a Fery come up. Yes, in that other point, I want to add, which Vijay rightly said, Flavio Cobolli, he looked at very ease. The way he handled Alex de Minaur, one of the most experienced players, and 9 times out of 10, if you ask me, de Minaur should have beaten him, Cobolli, on grass, but Cobolli came up with the big points and won it. I mean, to add to that second point, I again agree with Vijay. Linda Noskova has been looking very good. Elise Mertens has caused a few upsets. So, the women's side also is shaping up well. But our favorite, obviously, Sabalenka is out, Rybakina out, Swiatek out. So, looking forward to the next few rounds remaining.
Right. Rohan, you agree with Nitin and Vijay?
Yeah, I think I agree with them. And definitely Arthur Fery is the story of Wimbledon. I think, and since he's born close to Wimbledon, the whole thing is revolving around him. I think there'll be a lot of folklore starting soon. So, we've got the mountain there, right? The Murray Mountain or the Henman Hill. Let's see whether, it changes to Arthur Fery sometime soon.
Right. Nitin, my next question is for you. Take us into the mind of a coach. Quarterfinals, what's changing now?
I mean, very good point, Priya. The coach plays a very vital role now. The coach is studying all the other players. The coach is studying who the opponent is. They always do that. But, I mean, in a later stage, they know now they're very close to the finish line. So the coach plays a very important role. The coach plays the most important role of cooling down the player before match nerves, following the proper routine, getting everything, making sure that the players' rackets, grips, all are in place. There should be no untoward incident just before some match or something happens. So the coach starts to now play a vital role. So, you're very right. The coach is now as much as a player now. He's just out there. He feels like a player himself. And, they want to come close to the finish line. So in Sinner's case, it's Darren Cahill who's guided him so far. So you're very right in this point.
So Nitin, now is it that practice becomes less about your own game and more about solving the opponent?
Yes. Yeah, very true.
Okay, Vijay, moving on to you. Give us today's Wimbledon story.
So, Wimbledon has always rewarded composure. You look back to the greats, the great Bjorn Borg from 1976 to 85 consecutive Wimbledon titles. A fantastic win-loss record, 51-4, 41 consecutive matches at Wimbledon in singles. Pete Sampras from 93 to 2000, wonderful record in finals, 7-0. Roger Federer from 2003 onwards, 8 Wimbledon titles. And of course, Novak Djokovic from 2011 to 2022, 7 Wimbledon titles. So they all look calm. Even when they weren't inside testing their nerves, they all were nervous sometimes. But it isn't always the bigger hitter who wins. It's the calmest competitor. And that's what's really important, when it comes to crunch time.
Okay. Well, time now to put reputations on the line. No fence sitting. Nitin, who reaches the semis?
Well, you have Djokovic and Sinner already in the semis. I'm going with another upset. I'm going with I'm going to pick Cobolli over Fery, and I'm going to pick Fritz. Fritz is a surprise package, so I'm predicting Fritz to beat Zverev and Fritz to reach the finals against Sinner.
Okay.
On the women's side, I'm going to pick Gauff. I think Gauff to play Noskova.
Vijay?
I think Taylor Fritz, like Nitin said, is going to probably have an edge over Zverev. In head-to-head meetings, it's 10-5 to Fritz, and 7 of the last meetings have all been won by Taylor Fritz.
Rohan, your turn.
Well, I'm going contrary to what Nitin and Vijay said. I am predicting Zverev to reach the final, and I'm also predicting Zverev to take Wimbledon. So that's where I stand on the men's side. And Madison Keys, if she's still in the draw, I think she's the one to watch out for.
One word answers. Best of remaining, Nitin?
Sinner.
Vijay?
I'm going with Djokovic.
Best movement, Nitin?
Cobolli.
I'm going with Mukova.
Can I also jump in here?
Biggest surprise? Nitin?
Spider-Man.
Arthur Fery.
Vijay?
Absolutely. Coco, Gauff and Arthur Fery.
Rohan, aren't you itching to say anything? I mean, I'm just going to and fro with.
Yeah, I've been trying to,
Vijay.
poke you and get into this conversation. So, the best movement I think it's Spider-Man.
Okay, so the quarterfinals are where Wimbledon transforms. Every point carries more weight. Every match becomes part of history. Tomorrow we will find out who earns the privilege of walking onto centre court for the semi-finals. Until then, with Nitin Keertane, Vijay Chhabria and Priya for BI Sports, thank you for watching and we'll see you after the quarterfinals.